Welcome to week 6. Um, this is about your week 6 assignment. Again, just to remind you, this is you are doing one big paper, which is the research proposal paper, that you will put all the information together at the end of the class in week 8. So we are in week 6. You started this project since week 2 when you write the the research idea paper. Okay, research idea paper. So that's where you begin. That's where the seed pretty much at the beginning, and then you do the 10 articles that related on those ideas that you came up with, the hypothesis that you were trying to do, and then in week 4, you actually wrote the introduction statement of the problem, the purpose of the study, hypothesis, and the definition of term. All of those is related to your week 2, the idea that you came up with. And we're actually continuing that on. Again, we're just taking a little chunk each week from that big, huge paper that you're going to be doing at the end. Again, it's imperative for you to review all my comments that I made in those paper in order to move on. Things that you should kind of avoid would be like in contractions in the paper. Things you don't want to use I statement, because look at any research article that you read, 10 articles or even the one in first week. They don't use I statement on there. They don't say my research this paper is about. They don't use any of that. There's a higher learning, higher level of writing. So that's what I'm expecting from you as well, higher level of writings. So in this paper, again, I would highly recommend using this here, the sample research proposal. This is kind of an idea that I gave you for you to follow. And you have 2 sample paper here as well that you could actually use as a guide. Okay, but this is telling you how to write a research proposal paper. Again, you should have the cover page like this, and how to everything should be in cap. The title here. Make sure you have your own title. Don't just say research proposal paper. That's a generic title. You want an actual title that's for you. You don't see all those research articles saying that, and this is a research proposal paper. So they actually have their own title. What are they doing? The title should be short. It should be concise. That you should tell about your research. What are you actually conducting? Okay, that information you can actually find on chapter 15. I do recommend watching my video regarding chapter 15 about how to write these things. Okay, these part of the paper. So you again should be your title, should be your name, college, university, also the class that you're writing, and then today the date that you're writing this as well. Okay, that which is not on here. This week, you're gonna be doing an abstract. This week, you're gonna be doing an abstract. So you're gonna submit this portion in this week. Okay, you will have your abstract. Please look at again chapter 15 PowerPoint, and also look at 15 videotape on there as well. It will tell you how to write the abstract. Should be kind of short, concise, and then kind of give you a glimpse of the whole entire research that you're conducting. Hopefully your research, again, I reiterated over again that you want to do your research in psychology or behavioral health, even related to your work that you're doing now. Okay, so the abstract should reflect that. Okay, how many people are you conducting? Who are you conducting for your study? What kind of study are you doing? As we go along, each week now, you learn about different type of study, different type of research studies, survey, correlational studies. Use some of those terms here in your paper. What are you doing? What kind of research are you doing? Are you doing correlational study? Are you doing experimental design studies? What type of study are you doing? Are you doing quasi-experiment? So be specific on here, writing it down. How many people you actually conducting? What kind of research? What type of research study are you doing? Is it simple descriptive? Is this a survey? Is it a correlational study? Is it multifactorial study? So what kind of study are you doing? And how are you going to analyze your studies? What kind of tests you'll be analyzing your study? And this is kind of idea, just kind of quick idea of the abstract, of what the abstract should be. In this week, you're also going to be writing. So you already complete all of this stuff. So you're not putting any of these in for this week. You're not putting introduction. You already completed that. You already completed the statement of the problem. You don't have to put that in this week. You already completed the purpose of the study. That was in week 4. You don't have to put these in. Research hypothesis. You already complete that. You don't have to put that in. Again, definition of term. You already completed that. Don't have to put that in. You also did lit review. You did 10 of them, 10 articles that you did. You don't have to put that in this week. You already did all of that. Methodology section, that's for your next week. We'll talk about that next week. And I highly recommend putting in these, like I said, the title and the subtitle to help kind of navigate through your paper, to make it a lot easier to read and you know which section are you doing. Okay, like these subheading, you should have this in your paper. Highly recommend it. I know some teachers, some instructor don't want you to put that on, but that's a different kind of paper. Those are personal statement paper. Those are reflection paper that has to do with you. You could write all you want. You want to write, but these are formal paper. This is a lot easier to follow and to write by having these subheadings. So protection of human rights. So what are you doing to protect their human right? Making sure that their information are confidential, making sure that they are not going to be hurt during your study, that they have an opportunity to quit any time if they are voluntary, and if they want to quit your study at any given time, they have ability to do so. So all of those has to be part of this. Okay. Part of this. So this is your statement. You shouldn't have any citation whatsoever because it's your statement saying that you're not going to hurt them, that they have a right to quit your study at any time, and they also that they are confidential. Everything you do is confidential, protecting their identity. Okay, and the last section you're going to be doing this week, you're going to be doing 3 sections, which is kind of not a too long paper. You're doing abstract, human protection, and discussion. So we talk about abstract, we talk about human protection, and last would be your discussion. This is to kind of summarize your study, but also talk about the future ideas. What kind of things that if other people were to do this, what can they do? What kind of things that they could expand on, what kind of things that your study can actually expand on in the future, and also what kind of confounding variables, what kind of things that you expect to see that could go wrong in your study. What are all the things that could go wrong or could change your data? Let's say you're testing someone to test their IQ test versus the music. Certain music actually might increase your IQ. So confounding variables or things that could actually affect your data or could change could be, whether are they well that day. They could be sick coming in to take the test, and that doesn't help with their IQ test. Did they have enough sleep last night? Were they using drugs the night before? Were they intoxicated, drinking before they coming in? So all of those things. Are they having any stress? Are they just broke up with their boyfriend or girlfriend the night before? So all of those are confounding variables, things that could make your study go wrong, or change your data basically. things that could start to go wrong would be like electricity doesn't work, the light goes out, there's a storm coming in while you actually conducting the study, the light just completely went out. That's unexpected or unseen. Kind of things, but that's just kind of one example. Or the music that you brought didn't work. So any confounding variable, anything that could actually go wrong, you might want to list it on here as well. Okay, so that's the discussion portion. There's also human protection rights and the abstract. So those are the three sections you're going to be doing this week. You don't have to include any other section because you already did it. And then next week we'll talk about the methodology of how you should write your methodology section. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful week.